Shalom, family. Shalom. Let me do a little sound check right quick. Do a sound check. Let me do a little sound check. Let me see. All right. Everything seems to be everything. All right, now, family. Now, how many of y'all, Shalom DSB, how many of y'all notice that they trying to make it illegal for us to protect and defend ourselves? Have y'all noticed the pattern? Well, I noticed the pattern. All right. Let me get on into it. I know it's been a minute, but I've been doing some things. Let me see here. All right. Let me show y'all. Let's go through these definitions first. Let's see if y'all can see that. All right, now let me see. Okay, now y'all heard of MK Ultra? It's what a CIA, a government entity, is heavily invested in mind manipulation. Okay, I'm showing you where you could go look this up yourself. Okay, it's well documented. But I'm gonna just read right here. It said the CIA did engage. I bring to you, they still are engaged in a secret program called Project MK Ultra, which involves experiments exploring the manipulation of human mind and behavior. All right, you can do your own studying on that. Okay, now look at here. Let's skip down to these drugs. How you gonna be doing experiments with drugs, flood the streets with drugs, and then turn around and lock Negroes up for drugs? See, we have no friends. The scripture makes it very clear. The Most High will save us. Okay. Look at here. Experiments are conducted on both willing and unwitting. In other words, unknowing. If you are unknowing, how can you be willing? Okay. U.S. and Canadian citizens. So how come Canada ain't kicking up a fuss about the U.S. doing experiments on their citizens? Well, you have to go back to them old lessons telling you that all these Western nations, these Europeans, are still the Roman Empire, the modern day Roman Empire. It's an old lesson. On Facebook, I pinned it to the top. All right. Some subjects include prisoners, patients, psychiatric institutions, and even individuals in social settings, and unknowingly giving drugs like LSD. But I'm not gonna harp on that. Y'all can do your own due diligence. All right, this ain't really my message. You want to know how we got here? Let's go down the rabbit hole. Now, media. All right, medium. In the context of witchcraft, is someone who acts as an intermediary, a go-between, the living and the spirit world, often facilitated communication with the dead. Now, you said, well, you ain't dead. According to the Bible, if you ain't received the Ruach, you are dead. Let me go to the Bible right quick. If you don't get right with the Most High, you're gonna die twice. Okay? You're gonna die twice. In other words, in order for you to die twice, you got to already be dead. All right, let's see, Revelation 2:11. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. All right, Revelation 20:14, death and hell was cast into the lake of fire, which is the second death. All right, now I'm just showing you If you're not aware, you haven't received the spirit of the Most High, you're dead. Okay, just like you cut down a tree, you don't see the death of that tree immediately. It takes some time for you start to see the withering and stuff. It takes time for that. Same thing with us. If you don't reconnect yourself with the spirit of the Most High, you're dying. Okay? Now let me move on. See, someone who acts as a go-between the living and the spirit world. Now we know Satan in John chapter 8:44 is the father of lies. I'm gonna get into these lies of this media, this go-between, the evil between the living as us and the evil spirits. Let me move on, because I don't know how long this internet gonna be going on. Let me close some of these tabs. Now, let me go here first. Y'all, how many of y'all remember this? The woman in Chicago, there was a man beating up on his mother, and the boy went out, I guess he got his mother's gun and went and killed the guy that was whooping on his mother. I feel nothing for that man. I hate it happened, but he shouldn't have been whooping up on no woman and she ain't done nothing to him. That's where I'm at with it. You understand? But look at what the media did. The television. Let me know if y'all can hear. I might need to stop sharing my screen and come back. That's what I do. Make sure y'all get the audio. Hold on. I'm going to show y'all a pattern of them lying on us. And it goes back to lynching and laws and lies. All right, here we go. Probably going to be a commercial.
This is the future of golf.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to stop sharing, let this play, and then come back. I'm going to let that play and come back. Now, let me come back. I'm a little rusty. Oh, okay.
In a matter of hours, we'll hear from the woman once charged in a man's murder. Those charges against her and her son have been dropped. Joni is live to explain what we know so far. Joni?
I want y'all to pay attention how these police don't do no investigation. If they'd have done an investigation, they should have never arrested her. Y'all got to pay attention.
Good morning. That woman and her son were charged, and now they are free. Video evidence became available. Investigators always say that video is instrumental. However,
when something happened to white people, what happened before the video? We got to wait till all the facts come out. When it's black folks, lock them niggas up. Y'all better peep the plot.
However, the Cook County State's attorney did not mention the video in her statement about dropping those charges. 35-year-old Carlicia Hood and her 14-year-old son faced murder.
Y'all remember this? It was a black man whooping his mama. And if you dig a little further back, the media was lying, act like she texting the son to go get a gun to kill his man. Somebody whooping up on you. You ain't got time for all that. But nevertheless, let me wind this back a little bit.
Charges for shooting Jeremy Brown. Video evidence became available. Investigators always say that video is instrumental. However, the Cook County State's attorney did not mention the video in her statement about dropping those charges. 35-year-old Carlicia Hood and her 14-year-old son faced murder charges for shooting Jeremy Brown during a violent confrontation in a Pullman restaurant.
How do you come up with murder charges when the man was whooping her? She didn't bother him. She wasn't attacking him. They don't want you to protect yourself. I don't care if it's black or whoever. They sure don't want you doing it when it's white people. Y'all see how they handle that Cincinnati thing? Meanwhile, in the same state, Ohio, you got white supremacist police escorting Nazis in the black neighborhoods. Talking about they can't do nothing. What they can't do.
The woman was accused of ordering her son to shoot Brown. Video became public, giving more context to the incident. Brown is seen punching Hood.
Thank family. How can you accuse somebody of something that you ain't got no facts, no evidence to back it up? That's where the investigation is supposed to come into play. You got all kind of witnesses around.
Several times, her son for shooting Jeremy Brown during a violent confrontation in a Pullman restaurant. The woman was accused of ordering her son to shoot Brown. Video became public, giving more context to the incident. Brown is seen punching Hood several times. Her son walked in and saw her being assaulted. There's audio on that scene revealing Brown's threats. And one neighborhood resident said that he saw and he heard that video and he sides with the woman.
She was terrified. She was in shock. You know, her mind wasn't right. He told her, on my grandmama, I'm going to knock you out.
All right, that's enough of that. Her mind wasn't right. But what I saw, she trying to get out of his way. But anyway. Now, how many of y'all ever had Facebook jail? Huh? How many, while Facebook is harassing black folk, you got Nazis and police on there talking about how they hate black folk? How many of y'all remember this? See, it says hundreds of active duty and retired law enforcement officers. Hundreds. This is the ones they caught. But we supposed to trust the police. Now, give me a time in history. A time in history when the police has not been genociding us. Give me a time in history that the police have not been genociding black folk. Huh? Give me a time. Now back to the business. Hundreds of active duty and retired law enforcement officers from across the United States are members of Confederate, anti-Islam, misogynistic, or anti-government militia groups on Facebook. A revealed investigation has found the cops have worked at every level of American law enforcement. You see that? I'm just showing you what you can type in. I forgot what I typed in, but here go the thing right here. Okay. So I'm just showing you. So when you see a black person hanging on a tree and the police don't do no investigation, just like they didn't do no investigation before they locked that black mother and her child up. No investigation. You wonder why there's no investigation when you see black folks hanging up on a tree somewhere and the police get there and they ain't even getting out the car, ain't doing no kind of swab and other things used to hang the person with, no fibers, no taping off the area, none of that. They automatically holler suicide. Now, some of y'all is all right. Some of y'all is all right with waiting to see what they gonna do to you. I mean, that's your choice. I'm not going to tell you, Shalom, Merle, I'm not going to tell you what the Most High tell you to do. But if you trust in anything these folks is giving us, then you are a fool. And I mean that with no disrespect. You can't be too intelligent if you trust anything these people is giving us. I don't care if it's food, water, anything. Something is wrong with you. Let me see. Is this thing playing? It's playing. Let me see here. Hold on. Now, y'all remember this? This Mississippi bar? I'm going to stop sharing to make sure the sound comes. Y'all remember this? Mike played this on his channel. Hold on. Boy, I know I'm out of practice. Okay, right here. All right, let's go to, all right, hold on. Y'all remember this? White guy went up in there in the bar, hollering in this and in that, you know, the N-word up there. And then when the black folks got on him, the news and everybody else is blaming black folk. That's why I call it tell, lie, vision. But before I do that, that's witchcraft. I'm going to do this and then I'll get back. I'm about done. Hold on.
Video surfaces of a man police say might have been a victim of a hate crime. This happened after officers say an intoxicated man walked into a Marshall.
Now, this is a white man getting what he was begging for. His butt whooped. How many times do you hear a news station talking about when it's a black person, it's a hate crime? Okay, I want y'all to start noticing the difference. Okay.
Video surfaces of a man police say might have been a victim of a hate crime. This happened after officers say an intoxicated man walked into a Marshall County club and used the N-word when referring to the patrons.
Investigators say that the bar is also a problem spot. They say that they were...
Now, y'all see how they going into a history lesson about the bar being a problem spot, right? Okay, when an officer kills somebody under suspicious circumstances, how many times do they go into the history of the officer? These scales are not balanced. They are tipped and dipped and dripped in white supremacy. If the scale was balanced, okay, if you're going to pull my record up, pull that officer's record up. How many complaints does this officer have? Huh? I want y'all to start seeing this stuff. Be not ignorant of Satan's devices.
When referring to the patrons.
Investigators say that the bar is also a problem spot. They say that they respond to it several times every weekend.
Fox 13's Daniel Wilkerson is live outside CJ's Lounge on Memphis Street in Holly Springs. So, Daniel, how is this man police are calling a victim?
They didn't even go into the white man's background. I just noticed that. What's his record? See, you don't just all of a sudden start spewing hate. It's been there the whole time. Okay? They didn't even go into his background.
Daryl Darcy, good evening to you. Good evening to you at home. They say he didn't go to the hospital until today. He believes he may have a broken jaw. Meanwhile, CJ's Lounge is now closed. Police say that they were operating without a beer or a business license.
Now, found out that was a lie. You do a little bit more research. These people are supposed to be doing, the police supposed to be doing an investigation. This so-called news station supposed to be doing an investigation. Okay? But the owner, let me play the video. Then I'll get back to the owner.
Holly Springs police say cell phone footage they provided to Fox 13.
Now, this white dude got off pretty darn good. I'd have been on the receiving end of a butt whooping. Wasn't my fault. But I didn't get treated as nicely as he did. Okay? He got treated pretty darn good. I done been on the receiving end. That's how I learned I could take a beating. Okay? I done been on the receiving end. I told y'all before, me and my brother fighting about, I'm guessing about 15 or 20. Okay? He got treated pretty darn good. They just pulled a little lick. They pulled a little lick on him.
News shows a Tippah County man who has been stripped naked. They say the people who attacked him are seen pouring on him what investigators believe to be beer. Officers say seconds before, they hit, kicked, and stomped nearly every part of his body.
The guy walked in and he was very aggressive.
Miles Stone says he was at CJ's Lounge on Memphis Street late Saturday night into Sunday morning.
Other guys in the area was listening, trying to remain calm. We asked them, they asked for him to leave quietly.
But police say the man continued to call the patrons the N-word. Holly Springs police provided another video of the man outside the bar, speaking erratically, throwing what investigators believe to be gang signs.
When there was scuffling and stuff outside, he was still trying to fight. He still was saying the N-word, N-word. Man, F-U-Ns, F-U-Ns.
Now, they didn't get him just for that. When he put his hands on somebody, that's when they got him, okay? That's what I want y'all to know.
Officers say the attackers used poles and sticks to beat him.
So you don't think this is a problem spot?
I do not think. I think it's a positive spot.
But Holly Springs police disagree. The police chief estimates they've been to some 30 calls over the last 3 months CJ's has been open. They say there have been fights, guns found inside, and a man shot in the foot. The chief tells me they're pushing the district attorney to.
Now, I've seen white men walking around in stores in Mississippi with guns on their hip. Just because you found a gun, what? Okay? You see how they do that? Now, I don't do clubs. You know, I'm not with all that. But doggone it, the scales got to be balanced.
Shot in the foot. The chief tells me they're pushing the district attorney to declare it a nuisance.
I'm not standing for anything like that. However, we have to live with our choices, and he made a choice by going into there aggressively, and he has to live with the choice he's made.
Back out live here in Marshall County. Again, you're taking a look at that letter that was placed on the door. We should mention that police tell us right now they have a person of interest who they would like to speak with. Meanwhile, if you were here, you have information, you're asked to call the Holly Springs Police Department. Well, what does the victim remember about what happened? I'm working on that part of the story for Fox 13 News at 6. DG.
One of those videos.
Fox 13's Daniel Wilkerson live in Holly Springs.
One of those videos, the sheriff was talking about hate crime. I must have pulled up the wrong one. But he said let me see here. He said that the owner wouldn't give him video, and the owner come back out on a video and said, no, the sheriff, they didn't ask for no video. You see the camera right here? See the camera right there? To the left of the black man's head. See that camera right there? The police didn't go get his film. You understand? He could have got a subpoena and got the footage. You understand? He could have got a warrant and got the video footage. They pretty much knew what they were getting. Let me see, can I find that video right quick? Hold on. It really ain't gonna do no more justice. Let me go right here. Let me show y'all the witchcraft. And I thought this was interesting. It showed up in my feed. Let me show y'all the witchcraft similarities between the TV, the phone, and a black mirror. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and make sure y'all get the audio. Hold on. Oh, y'all can't see it? No way. All right, here we go. Now y'all listen up and watch what you be watching. Pay attention to what you're observing and watching and going on, all right?
Let me tell you something crazy I learned. Witchcraft is a lot more prominent in our society than we think. And some people won't think I'm crazy for saying this, but do I care? No. So let me show you the T girl. So you see what we have here, a television, right? Notice how in the television I can see myself very clear. You can see my living room and everything, right? Kind of like a mirror, right? This is what you call a black mirror. The same black mirror is used in witchcraft for witches to channel spirits. Okay, so what is this black mirror called? A television, right? Television, television, tell a vision. What do witches do again? They tell you a vision. Now let's turn on this television.
Notice when you go to school, you learn how to spell S-P-E-L-L like a witch. Notice a lot of these words got double meanings. Y'all understand? Deception. Or it's not necessarily deception, but it causes confusion. The Most High say he is not the author of confusion. Okay? This is one of the reasons why they say English is one of the hardest languages to learn. But nevertheless, I had to stop this video for commentary. You understand?
That has a black mirror. Then when you turn on your television that has a black mirror, you then pull up your channels. And yes, I know I got the old Comcast.
Notice witches channel spirits.
But we're not talking about that right now. Because what do witches do again with these black mirrors? Channel spirits. So therefore, pick what you want to channel. Then once you click what you want to channel, you then move on to your daily programming because it's meant to program us. That's why our generation is so desensitized to a lot of the things that we see in today's generation because we've been programmed since we were children. Oh, and that same black mirror that's on this TV is also on your cell phone as well. That's why we really got to be careful with the things that we watch in today's society because you never know what spirits you might be channeling with what you're doing.
All right. All right. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Now, this right here, y'all notice how many of y'all paid attention to how there's a massive push to feminize the men. Okay? I'm just going to show this and I'm going to be out.
If you cannot see that the Messiah is on his way, you're not paying attention at all. Look at this. New Orleans is known for so much wickedness, just like LA. Look at this. Are you serious?
Y'all see this mess?
Men. Sodom and Gomorrah. Wow. You still don't believe that Yeshua HaMashiach is on his way? You still can't see that men are graduating, elevating in wickedness, in their imaginations? You still can't see that men love pleasures more than lovers of God, like it says in 2 Timothy 3.
See, that's what the preachers ain't preaching. Okay? They trying to get your pockets. But nevertheless, I just found this today and I did research it. I didn't even know this was a thing. Look at this. All I can tell you, you can't control what somebody else do. You can't control what somebody else do, but all I can tell you, you get yourself in line with the Most High. That's what you do. You understand? And warn them. Warn them. All right, family. That's it. That's all. Sometimes you ain't got to go on and on and on. I thought it was going to be longer than this, but I think it was brief and to the point. Shalom, family, beware that tell lie vision. Hey, to you men folks out there with a spine and a mind, men has always been willing, even in the Bible, to put their life on the line to protect their families. Don't be worrying about going to no darn jail. Make sure you living right. We've always faced that possibility of dying and becoming a prisoner of war. If you are intelligent, you already know you are a prisoner of war. We can't choose our own leaders. Huh? Where's our town at? Where's our country? You understand? Shalom.